Gone with the Whales, Chapter 19. The Storm Breaks. The C.H. Hall Company had its main business office in the hub of the area, Great Boston, and had another office near their chief winter home in Newburyport, Massachusetts. In the summers, however, the family retired into a lovely, sprawling, large cottage, 22 beds, on the lake at Newburyport, New Hampshire. It really should have been called New Newburyport. You see, there are two Newburyports, and the Hulls featured in the history of both. Newburyport, Mass. was a shipyard town, not of the fame of the whaling ports New Bedford and Nantucket, yet producing many a sound and renowned hull. The sound and renowned Hull family lived, loved, and launched ships there. And up north, up a New Hampshire river, on a small lake, stood the Hulls' summer home. The canny ancestral Hulls and their kin, the Halls, from Holland and England, had seen the untouched forest here, full of magnificent old straight white pines, material for the finest shipmasts, perhaps, on the continent. They bought a large tract, miles and miles, and cut every tree in a few decades, except a few hundred around the picturesque lake house. Oak had been cut too. The pine and oak were made into ships down at the other Newburyport, contracted out at Boston, and the family in summer would contract, so to speak, at bridge and whist and euchre, and conduct the real business of the family with the house guests, amid cordial leisure, over cocktails, up at the cottage, as they called it. In 50 years, the forest had largely regrown, if less splendidly. The lapping of the waters and the shifting golden glint of sun off the wavelets attracted the ear and the eye and stilled the mind for truly wise conversation on many fondly remembered occasions. The cottage was magic. Peace dwelt there. She and I planned to visit the Boston office, get cleaned up and fed if possible, and go on as quick as we could to the lake, where the unsuspecting, or suspecting, family would be. She wished for a good and rapid reception in Boston. She got one. We trudged, brown, ragged, and worn, up to the grand Hall office building, far more lavish than the San Francisco office. To our knock, a face appeared, sniffing at our fragrant selves. Kathy, to her shock, did not recognize the woman. She said, excuse me, could we see whoever's in charge, please? We have business here. Who's in charge here? The maid, torn between disgust, her own curiosity, and a sense of duty, replied, well, that would be young Mr. Hull today. They all hate to come down here when it's hot. Who should I say is here? She was plainly appalled. Who should I say is here? Kathy glanced at me for an instant. Please tell him it's the lake monster and a pal. Well, said the girl and closed the door. 2 minutes later it reopened and we went in. Young Mr. Hull was Caleb Howe Hull, her younger son, just 17 at